Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful spring break. I know you probably are just holed up in your house, but hopefully you at least got to relax a little bit and didn't have to worry about any schoolwork for a little while. It's lovely to see you. It's lovely to be here. And today we are talking about social issues within your novels. So, if you remember these book club books that you guys selected, the kind of overarching theme between all of them is that there's some sort of social issue. So, we talked really briefly about that before we parted ways a few weeks ago. And so, I wanted to kind of dig a little bit deeper into social issues and what this means for you today. Basically, authors follow a pattern when writing with a focus on social injustice. So, as readers, you really need to be paying attention to it because it doesn't only help you understand what's happening in your novel, but it helps you understand what is happening in our world as well. So, everything that you guys are reading or every book that you're reading is going to have some sort of social injustice within it. And so, I want you to be thinking about your characters in regards to the social injustice. So I know in the past we've learned that steal about characterization, and you guys have been really good about charting just some basic things about characters, but I also want you to start paying attention to the different groups that characters belong to, such as race, gender, their age or birth order, their interests, their sexuality, etc. So what kinds of groups are they part of that are significant to the novel? So, if you think about it, social issues affect you and other people around you. They're a part of our world. And we have different examples of social issues, even from books that we've read so far this year. So, for example, if we're thinking back to Of Mice and Men, because that's something we've all read together, if we think about Lenny, we know that he has several different groups that he would belong to. So we know he was white, we know he was poor, he was a male, he was mentally disabled, he was physically strong. So I know that's not really a group, but it's still a really important part of his character and the events that eventually occur in the novel. So, what I want you to think about is when an issue or a social injustice comes up, is it connected to one of the groups that a character belongs to? So, for example, if we're going back to Lenny, he doesn't really experience racism. He this isn't really going to be relevant for his character. You can think though classism. So classism is like the fact that he does not have a lot of money. So does he suffer because of his lack of money? Does he have special privileges because he is male? Think about his mental disability. This is a really big part of the social injustice aspect in the book. And so we know that he has to hide his disability, that this becomes problems, causes problems for he and George. They have trouble keeping jobs. George has to kind of look out for him and take care of him. And then with the strength piece, Lenny doesn't know his own strength, which really causes him to unintentionally hurt others. So all of these things become pretty important aspects of him as a character and contribute to the social issues in the book. So you can even be thinking about other characters from Of Mice and Men. If you think about Curly's wife, if you think about Crooks, they're all parts of different groups and they all experience different social injustices. So this will be the case for the novels that you're currently reading in your book clubs as well. So, as you are reading these book club books, I want you to really be paying attention to how groups of people cause problems for other groups, which then leads to larger social issues in the world. So, this is going to become a big part of the theme in your book, and you've probably already started picking up on some of these things as you've been reading. So, think about the power struggle. So, who has the power in the relationships that your characters are involved with? And then I want you to begin jotting about these things as you're working through your notebook jots. So, in addition to making jots on character setting and conflict, which is typically what we've been doing all year, I want you to really start thinking about the groups that you notice your characters belonging to. And again, it might be more than one group, but start tracking these groups and start jotting about some of these groups and these social issues and these issues in relationships that are coming up because the character belongs to a certain group. Okay, this is really just going to start to add some depth to your jots, and it is going to start to help you think about these social issues on a larger scale.